I am waiting for Jen so we can have a recap of yesterday's podcast. If you all saw the podcast, we're just going to do a recap. Um, Jen, can you request to join in? Then I can add you. Well, let me send you a request. How does that look?
Test, test, test.
You ain't got
Check, check,
to
check.
do a test. I already can hear you.
I have my earbuds in
No,
now.
it's fine. You don't have to do a test. We good.
Come
Lou, how was your day?
Not too bad.
Okay.
Uh,
All right.
how do you share this?
Mine was cool.
Hold on.
Just
If
chilling.
I minimize this, will it go away?
Minimize what? Oh, Soda is here. Hi, Soda. Hi, and Joanne, artistry. Where do you go to? I'm waiting on you. This is our first live. Can you imagine? Soda, this is our first live, and I'm the one who's running the show. Now, I got somebody who's trying to help out here, and yeah, it's Doggy doesn't want to cooperate, right? Cooperate. Like, what's mommy got right now? Anyway.
You're okay, Mama. You're okay, Mama. You're a good girl.
You know what? Can we see the dog?
Why? Not you think it's a fake dog, like
Yeah. Yeah. That bark.
She is a real dog, okay?
All right. I'll take your
85
word.
pounds of her.
No,
She
don't leave that
has
file.
she has her own Instagram page. So.
Oh, she does. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Travel with Kiki.
Hey, Kiki.
So, we were going to talk about yesterday's podcast that we were discussing about podcasting,
Right.
and this is going to be short, just a little bit, about 10 minutes of our time. What was the takeaway regarding the? First of all, you talked about the algorithms. I cannot say the algorithm.
Algorithm.
Algorithms. Okay, let me
No,
say it my African way. Algorithms. That sounds better.
Yeah, we had a great episode. We talked
Mhm.
about the content creator's journey, navigating challenges or curveballs that you may run into, especially for content creators who are melanated. There's some special challenges that we run into, or not special, but there's certain challenges that we tend to run into. And so we talked about those three areas. I have my outline up here to kind of reference. But one of them was about the algorithms. There
Right.
is a
Hey, Miss Sophie, sir, how you doing?
there is um, studies that have been done that shows that marginalized groups often receive less engagement due to algorithmic biases that favor more mainstream appeal.
Right.
And, I was thinking that was kind of interesting because we've seen cases where this is a dog toy. I'm trying to keep her happy. So, they're like copying Black creators on TikTok and things like that, or them taking credit for someone. There's a lot of copying going on just in general. So I thought that was interesting that this study shows that it's favoring mainstream. So I guess it just depends on the type of content that it is, and these studies were done to show that there are biases. So
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and I thought I expounded on it, trying to figure out what the biases were,
Mhm.
and maybe I don't know if I did a great. Yeah, well, I guess I did a great job of it, trying to, well, actually, it brought us to about the niche. When we're talking about the niche of the
Mhm.
podcast, yeah, podcast
Right.
niche. Yeah, that was one of the things, creating a niche for your podcast,
And
right?
also, yes, and also to diversify your platforms, not just stick to one platform, but be multi-layer it. Not just one platform, platforms,
Yeah,
multiple
yeah. Because
platforms.
which ones are you on?
So I actually, try to be all out there on all of them, even the lesser known like Clapper and things like that. But I guess my main, even Lemon 8 is one. I guess it's kind of more women focused. So I do like that. I try to cross pollinate, as you like to say, my content on IG, Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Threads, and then I also try to have a presence even on Fanbase. Shout out to Isaac Hayes III. And we need you on Fanbase. Somebody come on through the Fanbase.
Yeah.
And I even, established a presence on the newer platform, which what's it called again?
The chatter.
Chatter,
Is it chatter?
chatter. So
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely just try to stay up on what's going on in tech and in the app world and things like that. So
I don't think we talked about the overwhelming amounts of stuff out there. Like how you spread yourself out. Don't you think that we kind of spread ourselves out thin at some point?
I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, it depends on if engagement is important to you. But I mean, it's people out here that are really making money, from content on these social platforms. So if you have, can carve out time, schedule it however you need to do it,
Hmm.
it may be worth it to you.
Hmm.
Not just saying you're seeking this monetary gain, but I've seen the numbers, even the people who within the circle, even in the reseller world, some friends and things like that, people are really making money on the TikToks and all of that. If you're consistently putting it out there, even, people we know in our circle are doing it. Beats makes a lot of content. And he's talked about how he, monetizes, and some other of our podcaster friends as well. So
Yeah, sorry about the dog.
sorry.
Sort of says, yeah, she likes to rotate which platforms she focuses on, and then but she likes to have presence in all of them. I think that's one of the deals we should also think about. Just have a presence in all, and then remember, I think I said something about analytics, where you check the analytics and figure out where you are most strong at, and then try to tweak it. But then sometimes, maybe it's just you need to focus maybe on that particular part and not try to extend yourself thin. Maybe, like, for example, when TikTok came out, not a lot of people went to TikTok. Then suddenly we started running onto TikTok because it was the in thing. Because when you looked at TikTok in the beginning, what would you think about it? It was for dance videos and stuff like that. But we hadn't realized that it was part of a bigger thing that we
It
could have
really
imagined.
is. It
Right.
really is. And people are really, monetizing. They have the TikTok shop, and content creator program. So, I mean, there's ways to really become an influencer in your own right over there.
True. True. Yeah, it's one of those things that you just have to figure out as you're going along. And then what else did we? I'm trying to get. It was check your analytics, and then I'm just freestyling. I didn't get the whole thing.
You had a whole outline. But no, engage actively. We talked about diversifying the platforms. And then that kind of led into the second point, which is the brand partnerships. And so, the studies showed a disparity in, Black creators getting the brand partnership deals versus the white counterparts. And sorry, And some of the solutions to that was to build a strong portfolio, network strategically, and negotiate fairly. And we kind of talked about like how to rate yourself, and there's mechanisms to create your rates and things like that.
Right, true. Sort of was asking on how algorithms are prejudiced, and that some of the platforms, are there some platforms that are less prejudiced than others that we know of? I don't think we did delve into that. That's a good question,
Well,
though.
so they list the source of the reports. So the one report came from the Digital Media Diversity Forum. Digital Media Diversity Forum, and they created this report that found the Black creators. And I guess they surveyed, so many creators, and they did this research. And then another one was by the Pew Research Center in 2021, and that found that Black creators face these challenges with visibility. And I guess, it's all about the numbers. So if people, they put themselves out there, they're checking the numbers and they're seeing a disparity and things like that. So it can, it's a way to track that type of data, and it has been tracked,
Right, true.
And Lipson, does these kind of studies every year. We talk about this all the time,
And what's it, Nielsen? Is it Nielsen that also does that report?
Well, yeah, but I was thinking, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then there was the other thing when we talked about the rate card. Remember that question? We seriously need to focus and find out about the rate carding, how you get to know what to charge for your rates, because at some point you're entering the industry and you're not known you don't know what to charge for your rate card. How do you get to know that this is the amount that I'm going to charge for a rate card? And I think my initial start was start locally, invest in your community, and then try to grow yourself out there, because being an indie podcaster is really hard, especially when we're just doing it because we love to podcast,
right.
not something that we say, we're trying to make a business out of it. Well, we do want to make a business, make money out of it, but it's something that we do and we love. Numbers really matter for some time, but yeah, money is always a fun thing to get out of it. But I think for us, we're saying it's just how you get that rate card, the first initial rate card, and how do you become like become a standard in the industry, or where's your starting point, or where are you determining that you're too high, you see. And we say mentor. A mentor will probably help you out with that.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that was what I had.
And then the third point was the audience growth. And there was some data that showed there was disparities in converting engagement into audience growth, which we know how to track our numbers.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So, and then that's the conversation about the niche.
Yeah, like you start with the niche. I think we're going back to the one of the, you had the study that had talked about a lot of people had said that Black consumers who would go and watch a lot of the videos or into online media. However, that did not translate over to growth for the indie African American podcasters or the Black podcasters or any of the podcasters that were niche podcasters that started off. I think we can generalize at this point because we cannot figure out exactly where they were going to and how they were consuming. Like, what were you consuming when you were out there? Were you watching like TikTok videos? But with the TikTok videos, what were you buying from the TikTok videos? And where's your scale? So that was one of the things that we're trying to figure out, and we left it open for research, maybe come up with something later on. And then the niche part of it was how to create a niche. And then we talked, actually the part I liked is how we combine the niche audience and the niche of the podcasting to how our information coincided with the Black Twitter episode that we did with Dr. Al Pete some episodes ago, and also remember the engagement part. We also listed what's her name, Leslie, on her part where she started off and created her niche podcast. And even with the niche part, her niche audience were people that she would do meetups with rather than online. Like now, to do something here online. She had her people where she started off in her way, grew up her business, and look at where she is right now.
Definitely.
So niche has a way. The niche podcasting or niche audience also has some ways to go that helps you in some way, shape, or form to actually create your podcast audience and also grow your audience too.
Right. We had some other examples. Some people in our circle, former guest on the show, Olu from the Sample Lounge, really started grassroots, and with his content, he had a big mention on the Joe Budden podcast, and he has like very well-known music producers reaching out to him saying, "Hey, how can I be down?" And he's like, "What? They contacted me, So shout out to Olu, but yeah, you can be an independent podcast and, have a great moment and, that type of engagement. Because, he went from, what did he say, like 2,000 followers to over 20,000 followers. And
right.
He was able to capture the moment of like, some notables like following him, So, yeah, you can be independent. And if you have something special, unique, other people are going to resonate with it. You may not blow up here or there or get that celebrity mention, but I mean, there's no reason to stop doing what you're doing. Like we said, we don't have the greatest numbers in the world either, but we really enjoy doing this. We kind of, organically, connected to do our content together to just send, because we have similar vision and, it's been working,
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Soda says that when she was in doing her podcasting, she used to buy so many books from TikTok, and they usually have a super niche audience. So yeah, it does make sense. I agree with you on that one. And she doesn't trust super big accounts.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the more you have too many, you tend to want to, there's that idea of like you have a conversation with a person. Like somebody texted me on TikTok, I can respond back and say, "Hey, what's up?" It feels great when somebody notices you. But if you have a super big account of 500,000 people and somebody responds, I mean, when everybody responds, are you going to be able to have an engagement with them? How much of an engagement will you have? But I guess they have their way of doing it, maybe Zoom calls and stuff like that. But who knows?
You'll be surprised. I mean, some of my favorite podcasters who have a large following spend a lot of time going IG live and just talk to their people and go on rants and just share. I mean, I don't think I would be comfortable doing that. I mean, maybe I would if I had that type of audience, but it's interesting. And then people, they're all in the comments, and and they like, you can tell that that's personally doing something for them. And they do it quite a bit. It's one in particular that I'm thinking of. I won't, name names or whatever, but we can talk about it later. But back to the other point I was thinking of when we were talking about this is like, how do you compete with a Joe Budden or a Joe Rogan? You know what I mean? Like so many celebrities or podcasters, and we talk about this in the morning room too. How do you, there's no comparison. I'm never going to be a Joe Budden. So
True.
yeah.
But I think what you want to say, what you want to know as a podcaster is, if you have 100 people on one street, like I'd say this: if you come to Kenya and walk down the street, you will find that you have these like people selling the same type of attire, like say shoes. You'll find a whole street of people selling shoes, and with that,
Canal Street, New York, I guess.
right, and they still got business. There's somebody who will come to your business because now it's more like who's more personable, who will be giving you the right kind of service for you. and that's where the difference comes in. So you could have a Joe Budden hanging out there, and you could have your 2,000 people out here, and you could still make it because these 2,000 people feel like, hey, I have a connection with the person that I met. Hi, Mark, and hi, Visionary Tane. Welcome to our short live that we have to recap what we did yesterday on our show. Yeah, and I think that was it, right? What we captured yesterday.
Yeah, those are the 3 points:
Right.
audience growth, algorithm, and branding, partnerships. And then we also, rounded it out by acknowledging your milestone. I don't know if you talked about that before I hopped on. That you celebrated 5 years in podcasting, so your podversary.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We had the cake. Unfortunately, I
You
had
had
my.
cake. I was like, wow, you really lit those up too, like in your bedroom. I'm like, okay, be careful.
Oh yeah. You gotta go watch it, guys, and see how it went. It was really nice. I think for the 5 years, it was a great. It's great to actually see how much work that has been done.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you know what? I went and looked at all the videos that we have done so far,
Mm-hmm.
with the lives and everything that we've collected over this last few months on YouTube, and I'm like, man, we've done a lot of work. Just starting in
I
February, just
know
that one part as a
getting
collective,
started on the year
it's
end,
a
like,
lot.
yeah.
So just if this was, can you imagine if this was like a 5 year plan? Man, it would have been great when you look at the 5 years. But who knows? Well, but what I'm saying is just the 6 months or so that we've been together doing this has to tell you that there's something that we've gone from day one. I remember day one, we're kind of like trying to figure out ourselves how to figure out the podcast. And right now, we know what we want. We know who we're getting. A lot of people want to have engagement with us, and we've got a whole bunch of nice guests lined up, and people who really want to come and share knowledge to the masses. And I think we're onto something. Okay. What do you think?
No, for sure. We had some, emotional moments, I didn't expect us to, okay, my dog is about to knock this sucker over. She's like, who are you talking to?
Yeah. One of these fine days.
My doggy. No, but yeah, it's been great. And like I said, this is organic. We didn't, plan to be hitched to the wagon like this together as
right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's been great. Now we have some comments here. Soda says she was at the Podfest meetup last night, and someone mentioned Paul and several other people cheered, and it was a great reminder of the importance of community. Actually, Paula is really big on community. She stresses that, and I think Mark is here. He also loves to get that community sense of community, and I think I like about that with the morning show. That's why I'm there every single day. Sometimes when he goes away, I'm like,
every single day.
Why do it? So I do like that that community, having a sense of community with everyone around you. Even as podcasters, starting with podcasters, then you expand onto your audience, make them feel that they're part of it. Visionary Change is I'd rather listen to a podcaster with a small following so I can get some engagement. You're right. I even follow some podcasters, and when I say something to them and they say back, it feels great. Oh, I'm sorry. She says Joe Budden wouldn't respond to me or my comments. That's a visionary change. She says, "What y'all got going on here?" Well, it's a YouTube podcast that we have. It's Woke by Accident and audio too. Well, I'm behind with my audio. You great on the audio, so you great. So that's what we do. Hello, Pretty Brown Eyes 11. So I think
it's a global podcast, Sambaza. It's all, it's iHeart, it's all, all the places.
Hey.
Not just on YouTube.
Oh yeah, we've spread ourselves out. That's what we have to say. Yeah. So other than that, I think we're looking forward to next week. Hopefully, we can put up a great show on Wednesday. Have a great guest on the show, and then we'll do a recap of what we had the day before. Right. I wanted to keep it short, but it looks like we extended it a little bit. So other than that, any parting shots?
Anyhow,
Any parting shots? Anything to say bye? Oh, this is the part I say, Jen, can you take us home?
God. I'm not gonna read that. No. Thank you for inviting me to your live, and we appreciate you being a partner in podcasting with me.
Hey.
So,
Yep. And I do love it all the time. Let me finish the comments. Love when I catch your lives. Thank you so much, Soda. And Visionary Pain is okay. You knew the name of the podcast. It's actually a collective. It's a Walk by Accident and Sambaza Podcast. So Walk by Accident is Jen, and then I come in as Sambaza. So it's both of us combined. We are on YouTube, and well, I'm the only one who's on Twitch, so I spread myself out.
My reseller stuff is on Twitch.
Oh, your reseller stuff is on Twitch.
Yeah,
okay, so that's in short how you can find us online. So if you look for Work by Accident, you'll definitely get us online, and you can watch it, or you can go to Sambaza Podcast. You'll find us there. So it's a whole collective. So either one, you'll find us. You'll be able to catch whatever show. But if you want to catch the latest audios, it'll be with the Work by Accident, because she's really quick on getting those. So Pretty Brown, thank you so much. If you'll check out us on YouTube, and hey, come join us. Oh, we had that special prize. Are we gonna do it next week?
Did someone even answer? I didn't check.
Nah, wait, hey, we'll do it next week. So we'll have a contest next week, and just come and join us, and we'll have some fun with the show.
Okay.
All right. So till next week, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, Sambazaji, as I call my people, good night, and see you all soon.